Our first question will go to Gabriel Gonzalez with Cageside Press.
My apologies. One moment, please. Pulling that up. Thank you. Maki, hi. How are you?
I'm doing
What is
good.
the mood going into this fight week with everything going on?
My mood is solid, man. I'm excited to be here again. Excited to do work. Uh, this is what I love to do. So there's no bad vibes. There is no negative. It's all forward movement.
I read this story. How did you pick coconut bombs as your Instagram handle of all the ones that probably popped up?
These bad boys right here.
Say no more. I get that. You've had a fight with no fans. You've had the big fight in a stadium in Australia. Can you say for sure which experience you prefer now that you've had both ends of the spectrum?
I miss the crowd. I miss having the crowd out there. I miss the vibes they give out, the boos, the cheers. When they see action, they're cheering louder and louder, and that's what I miss the most. Going in there and having no crowd, it just kind of feels like another sparring session or another uh yeah, it just feels like a big sparring session to me with no crowd. So I really miss the crowd. I wish they were there.
Now, you're obviously at the apex for UFC 250, but it is now officially Contender Series season again with everything going on. Does it add any extra nostalgia to be at the apex during this time for you?
Yeah, it's where I made my it's where I got my contract. It's where I got my first UFC win. So this cage, it means a lot. It's all the cages is home for me, but this one it means the most because this is where I had my monumental moments.
This may sound odd because you just had that fight, but does the Contender Series fight feel any different from, let's say, UFC 250? Because you're in the same place, because there's hardly anybody there. Is there any different feeling in terms of when you're actually out there in the cage?
Yeah, the contender series I did have the people that mean most to me, my family. Um, the UFC 250 they weren't there, so it's it it felt like it didn't feel right. I always want my the people that mean the most to me. I want them there. I want them to see all the hard work that I put in. I want them there, you know. So for them to not be there, it sucks. But I know they'll be there soon.
And then finally, what do you got to watch out for Darren Stewart as an opponent?
He's an aggressive opponent, likes to lead off with his kicks and his hands, and he loves to do that double leg. So I'm looking to use my footwork, cut angles, and use my boxing in smart ways.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, of course.
We'll go next to Adrian Gallardo with Valvo Brazil. Your line is open.
Hello, Maki. I'm
What's up?
from. My first question is this your most important fight in your career?
It is. You know, after my Charles Bird fight, this is exactly what I wanted going into it. I wanted a bigger guy. I wanted to have a serious opponent that will potentially wake up the middleweight division and let them know that I mean business. A lot of people are thinking that I should bounce back and forth between welterweight and middleweight, but this is where I got my contract. This is where I mean business, and this is where I want to be.
Perfect. Another question is Darren Stewart is an experienced fighter. What was your preparation for this fight?
Um, I've done my studies. He's a strong opponent. He's a very dangerous guy. So, and I'm a very dangerous guy. So we're gonna go in there, man. We're dogs. I'm gonna go in there and throw down and do what I do best. Look for the opportunity to finish at every aspect of the game. And I know my confidence and what I've done in this camp will prevail.
Perfect. And last question: what was your preparation in these times with the pandemic?
I'm sorry. What was that, boss?
Yes,
What was my
with
preparation?
yes.
This time around, I just working on all my weak points that I feel like he could capitalize on me on, and bringing in the right guys to spar and trusting the process most of all. This quarantine back home, it's very serious, and they're not letting guys in from. You can't have groups more than 10 people, so it's really hard to get the right guys in that you need. But luckily, I'm able to get the. I was lucky to get the right people in that I needed to complete this camp and feel 110% confident that I'll go in there and get the W.
Thank you, Maki, and good luck for your fight.
Thank you, thank you.
We'll go next to Bryson Hester. Your line is open.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, boss.
So your last fight was 2 months ago today, actually. How active would you like to stay if everything goes perfect on the 8th? Like, how active would you like to be for the rest of the year?
This is ideal right here. Every couple months, come in and do battle, represent my island. And this is what I love to do, man. I love to compete against the best in the world. This is what gets me up in the morning. This is ideal for me. Every couple of months, come in here and do work and climb the rankings.
And you mentioned after your last fight that middleweight is your division now. Can you speak on how much better you feel during fight week itself without having to cut that extra 15 pounds?
I feel 110% better, man. 170, cutting to 170 was taken away from my health, man. I just didn't feel all there. It didn't feel right for me, and I'm getting older. My man muscles is coming in. So 185 is the perfect spot for me. I feel good. My mind is there. My health is here. I can make weight, not fairly easy, but I make weight, and I'm confident, man. I have the confidence behind it. Going into battle the next day, I feel my rehydration is prime. Back when I was going to 170, it didn't feel all there. Going into the fight, I didn't feel all the way rehydrated and back to normal, you know. So I carry myself a lot better at 185.
And you're pretty early into your UFC career. You were on your last fight. You were on UFC 250, and you were on the prelims, and then now you're in the People's main event slot, right under the co-main event. So how are you gaining traction so fast? How's everything coming together so well? It seems like.
I feel like I carry myself as a champion, man. All these things, my mouth is bringing to fruition what I want. This is what I want to do. This is where I want to be. I want to climb these ranks. I want to fight the best in the world, and to do that, you gotta speak it. You gotta believe it, and this is exactly what I'm doing.
I appreciate your time, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Maki. You're all set.
Awesome, guys. Hello.